All right, guys, welcome back to Golazo España, where we are going to go over what's in today's Spanish football dailies. I've been to the cafe, I've reviewed them all for you. I'm going to tell you what's in the headlines, and I'm going to pick a couple of things out that you might find, of interest. So, let's have a look at what was in MARCA today. Headline, white and green smoke. Real Betis have made history by reaching the Conference League final after a dramatic extra time win over Fiorentina. It says Betis now face Chelsea on the 28th of May in Poland. Yes, so come on, Real Betis. On the front page of MARCA at the top, it confirms that Xabi Alonso is coming to Real Madrid and he's bringing trusted staff. But there will be no major squad overhaul at Real Madrid. That might be of interest to some of you, that support various Premier League clubs, if they've been linked with your players, maybe Dean Huijsen, obviously Trent Alexander-Arnold from Liverpool. We know that's going to happen. But they've been linked with various players, Arsenal, Chelsea, Liverpool, whatever, and also Spanish clubs. So, but apparently, there will not be a major squad overhaul. And I did read about this in depth, and they don't feel that that's needed. And they also say that the finances are just not there to enable that to happen. In AS, the headline is Blessed Festival. Celebration mode in Seville after Betis secure their first ever European final. The paper also highlights Mbappe's dominance over Barcelona. 8 goals in 7 games. Obviously, El Clásico is coming up. Sport, the headline, Flick calls for one final push. Barca boss Hansi Flick urges his squad, as Rafa Benitez would say, squad, to focus mentally and physically for El Clásico. He believes winning on Sunday is key to saving the season after the Inter heartbreak. And at the bottom of the front page of Sport, they acknowledge Betis' achievement and they say historic, Betis reached the final. And finally, Mundo Deportivo, the headline is Clásico packed. Ahead of Sunday's clash with Barca, ahead of Sunday's clash, the Barca squad, Laporto and Deco, held a motivational barbecue at the training ground. A motivational barbecue, eh? Imagine sitting there looking at an hot dog thinking, yeah, that's motivating the fuck out of me. Give me a hot dog and a beer. Gee, that's the only motivation I need at a barbecue. Is there more coming? Yes. Fucking hell, keep the chef motivated. That's what I say. Whoever's in charge of the barbecue is a legend. Make sure they've got beer. The team is fully focused on Real Madrid, with unity and morale being the key message. And again, the front page also celebrates Betis' European final qualification. Now, I wanted to focus on this bit. Ancelotti's successor is ready. The Xavi plan is underway. This is what this is about. This is the main thing really today. And it's by Jose Felix Diaz, the best journalist for Real Madrid News, I feel, that writes for MARCA. I have spoken to him this season about the Trent situation. And you might wonder, why did you speak to him? There's loads of journalists, because he's the best. And I found that contact very beneficial for Cop Talk, my other YouTube channel, my website, right? Anyway, Diaz basically writes, let's see, on May 25th, Real Madrid will close one of the most glorious chapters in its history. What Carlo Ancelotti has achieved will be written in golden letters in the history books of football, not only those belonging to the Madrid club. As Madrid boss, Ancelotti has won 3 Champions Leagues, 3 Club World Cups, 3 UEFA Super Cups, 2 La Ligas, 2 Copa del Rey titles, and 2 Spanish Super Cups, with the current La Liga season still ongoing. His 15 titles now surpass the legendary Miguel Muñoz. On May 25th, he'll say goodbye, and Real Madrid will begin a new chapter under Xabi Alonso. Both Ancelotti and Real Madrid agreed to delay any announcement to focus on the La Liga title race. But even before that, they had already discussed and shaped a very amicable farewell, which will culminate in a grand send-off for the Italian. The agreement was finalised after the Champions League tie against Arsenal. That's when the current coach and the club's executives met and concluded that it was best for both parties to part ways. Until then, Real Madrid had only been sounding out the market, with Xabi Alonso being at the centre of many internal movements. Ancelotti knew the Brazil national team were waiting for him. From that point, talks accelerated and will soon be formalised with a deal that will see him take charge of the 5-time World Cup champions, 5-time world champions, through to the 2026 World Cup. Does that make sense to the 2020? A deal that will see him take charge. All right, okay. Sorry. Right, so Xabi Alonso, who will sign a 3-year contract, knows this Real Madrid squad inside out. It's true that he left Valdebebas, that's Real Madrid HQ, in 2019 and, in Valdebebas. Oh man, I'm not doing very well today, I do apologise. It's true that he left Valdebebas in 2019 when he decided it was time to step into professional football with Real Sociedad B, where he stayed for 3 seasons before joining Bayer Leverkusen in 22. There, he led the team to a historic Bundesliga and German Cup double in 24, the club's first ever league title, ending Bayern Munich's 11-year dominance. With regards to transfer market, and this is why I picked this article out really, because I think people might find this of interest. In recent conversations, Xabi Alonso has accepted that transfer decisions are controlled by the club. And if you're a Liverpool fan, that might be something that interests you because, with Trent going there, you think, oh, well, did that manager want him on that? Do you know what I mean? It's like, no, Real Madrid, they pick the players. Perez, really, right? Although Alonso, and the reporting in the last few days from Diaz has been that, no, it wasn't Diaz, sorry, this came from Sport, which is a pro-Barcelona newspaper. They tried to make out that Ancelotti was unenthusiastic about Trent because he wanted a defender and he's not a defender. All that's changed now, obviously, because he's leaving. But the new manager, Alonso, is said to favour the idea of working with Trent. But the emphasis here is that the decisions are controlled by the club, and Alonso accepts that. He will have input and can make suggestions, but signings will continue to follow the club's established strategy, a model that has proven very successful in recent years. It's also clear from these discussions that there will be no major overhaul of the squad. Such a revolution is neither considered necessary nor viable. Alonso will arrive with Sebas Paria as his assistant and an Alberto Encinas handling the physical preparation. There will be significant signings, but no sweeping changes. One thing that is mentioned here, which I thought might be of interest to you, tactical changes incoming, and it starts with Trent. His extraordinary time at Bayer Leverkusen has shaped a system that Alonso already identified with when he coached Real Sociedad's reserve team. A 1-3-4-3, which can also be interpreted as a 1-3-4-2-1. This represents a significant change for the new Real Madrid, as the 3-man central defender system is something Ancelotti has barely explored. This will determine the market. The first is the arrival of Trent Alexander-Arnold, who fits perfectly with what Xabi looks for in his wide players: range, quality, ability to break through, and the ability to surprise in unexpected areas. Now the club must find a player with that profile for the other flank. I just thought that maybe people might be interested as to how Real Madrid operate, what their plans are, and Alonso's thoughts on it. And it's coming from Diaz, so I think you can take that as set in stone. Talking about the El Clásico, there will be a broadcast between cinema and a video game with 40 cameras. What they're trying to say here is that it's going to be so perfect, it's going to look like a video game. That's what I think this is about. This Sunday, the match of the year will take place. Barcelona and Real Madrid face off in a high-risk encounter requiring a major police operation and tight coordination between the security directors of La Liga, Barcelona and Real Madrid. The significance of the match goes beyond the pitch. The television production will involve over 500 people to deliver a broadcast that blends the feel of cinema with a video game. La Liga has spent years waging a determined battle against violence in Spanish football. And El Clásico is one of the most delicate fixtures on the calendar, officially classified as high risk by the Anti-Violence Commission. Quote, the security operation for El Clásico is like that of a normal match, just with everything ramped up, says La Liga's head of security. The operation involves extensive behind-the-scenes work. Our job starts well in advance. We need to know how many fans are travelling, what their profile is, where the teams are staying. And this person added, the Real Madrid security director is required to pass information to his Barcelona counterpart 1 week before the game. He must also accompany the fans because he knows who the troublemakers are. This season has been a model in terms of security. According to La Liga data, there has only been one fight between violent groups ahead of a league match during the Cordoba versus Almeria fixture. That's the lowest number since 2015, when such incidents started being tracked, which I found very interesting, to be honest with you. The Catalan police will monitor every detail of the operation, including ensuring that rival fans don't slip into the wrong section. There is a quote here. It says, if a Madrid fan shows up in the Barcelona area wearing their shirt, or vice versa, it can create a problem. We need to be alert to that. If such a case is detected, they must be relocated. It's not wise to allow elements that could cause trouble in a high-risk game. It has to be managed politely. High risk means more police and more security, but also more rigorous checks and ID verifications. Authorities have also requested a restriction of airspace to prevent drones from flying over. I didn't think of anything. They wouldn't think about stuff like that, would you? The eyes of the world will be on El Clásico, and the broadcast must rise to the occasion. A massive production effort is planned. Over 500 personnel will be involved in the pre-match, the match, and post-match coverage. 40 cameras will be used during the broadcast, double the usual number for a La Liga fixture. So again, I just thought that might be of interest to you. There is one fixture, guys. Las Palmas currently 18th in La Liga. With 32 points, find themselves in the relegation zone. They host Rayo Vallecano this evening. It says here the Canarian side are coming off 2 consecutive defeats, a 1-0 loss to Athletic Club and a 2-3 defeat to Valencia. Diego Martinez's team are desperate for a win to keep their hopes of avoiding relegation alive and to stay in the top flight for a 3rd consecutive season. On the other hand, Rayo Vallecano sit 8th in the table with 44 points, level with Osasuna and just 2 points behind the final UEFA Europa League spot, currently held by Celta Vigo. Rayo come into the match after a 1-0 home win against Getafe, which ended a 4-game winless streak. The Franjirojos need to win all 4 remaining games to stay in the fight for a place in Europe and to finally return to continental competition, something they haven't managed since the 2000 and 2001 season when they reached the quarterfinals of the UEFA Cup, only to be knocked out by Alaves, who went on to finish runners-up. They also had a shot at European football in 2013-14 after an excellent season, but were denied entry by UEFA due to financial issues. Winning their final 4 matches would reignite the dream of European football for Rayo. So that's all I've got for you today, guys. That's the main talking points in Spain. A couple of little things I thought might interest you because they interested me. Don't think I've done a very good job explaining this video today. I've done that. I feel like I've been like that on my other channel as well today, but maybe I'm a bit tired of something. But I'm sure you found it of interest, didn't you? If you did, please thumbs up the video. Please drop me a comment. And I look forward to catching up with you again very soon. All right, guys. Cheers.